What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of What Do We Know? Football Edition. We're going to have the whole crew here. We're going to be talking about this year's Hall of Fame class and how much we loved watching these guys grow up and retire. If you enjoy the video, like it, subscribe, follow us on all our social media. See y'all soon.
And I think he could have added more records to his resume if he would have been on a successful team. He was on an 0-16 team, man. Here.
Yeah, he called it. Yeah, he had like 3 people covering him at a time, and he's coming down to football. Anyway.
Dude, that's when the
John, let me hit you. I dare you, bro. You gotta do it now.
All pieces are almost in place, and if you could just give him the click, it's a dynasty waiting to happen, man. Like he's really doing a good job over there. Man.
What's with
Go.
go.
What's up, guys? Here we are. What do we know? Episode 3, man. We're going to be talking about some Hall of Fame. All right, man. Let's start with Drew Pearson. Drew Pearson is inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah,
That's
finally.
Yeah, about time.
Sorry, I was filling up my wine, man.
Rocking some
20
Cowboys
years
gear.
too late. But yeah.
Yeah, 40 years too late. Way too late. Drew Pearson is
that dude's got 3 Super Bowl appearances under
An
his belt.
undrafted wide receiver as well. Came in the league undrafted.
the original 88.
Started like
Produced.
such a legacy for everyone else that comes behind for that number now.
Why do y'all think he gets passed over for so long?
I don't know. There were other
That's like you
receivers,
said,
you know.
40 years. He finished his
But-
career in 83.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. Never really made sense to me though.
I don't know. I think
But,
he's just been
hey,
really looked over because
I'm
I guess
happy it
it's
finally happened.
I guess he doesn't have like the numbers, so to say, like as like other receivers in his time era, even though he has the rings. But
Well, like when he retired, he was literally the all-time leader for the Cowboys in receiving yards and
Yeah.
and receptions.
And
So,
he
like-
had a year leading the league in receiving yards. I mean,
yeah, it's absurd that it took this long.
He put up some serious numbers, and I don't have an answer for you, Josh. I
Went
don't
to
know
3
why
different
he's
Super
been
Bowls.
looked
He
over.
won a Super Bowl. There is no answer, really. I don't
He won 2 Super Bowls, huh? I think he won 2.
3 appearances.
I thought he only won one.
Only won 1.
First team pro 3 times.
Either way,
3 Pro Bowls. Yeah.
the man is a Hall of Famer. Maybe not a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's definitely a Hall of Famer, and it definitely took way too long. He deserved this. This
About
is
time they put
hella
him in.
awesome. It is about time that they put him in there.
I'm
yeah.
happy to see it.
They need some kind of special shrine, man, some kind of 88 shrine to him or something, because Cowboys that are coming behind and getting that number is like, it's a freaking honor to have that number, and it's not because of Michael Irvin. It's because of Drew Pearson. Irvin was honored to wear it because of him. And
Well,
Irvin
We
got
were
to the
talking about that when
first.
He also isn't he's the one who coined the term Hail Mary, right, on that play?
Well, I mean, Roger Staubach
Yeah,
threw the
they
Hail Mary.
coined the term.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
they
he was
coined the
one
term
who
for
taught
it.
Yeah.
He's a game
that's
changer.
cool right there. Yeah,
So it's nice and fun to see him get in there.
Yep.
he deserves it, definitely. It's not the only receiver we got in there, though.
Yeah, well, the other receiver in there is arguably the best the NFL's ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have to say. He gets so many receivers in the NFL today get compared to him, but I don't think any of them touch. You got DK Metcalf, Mike Evans, all these guys that get compared to him. But
Even DK Metcalf might be the.
I was going to say DK Metcalf's the only one.
DK
He's a different
Metcalf
level.
is like the
He's looking
Megatron 2.0.
like, yeah.
But
But he hasn't put in the time yet.
No, not yet.
He hasn't put in the time yet to
Still young,
really
though.
earn that.
Man, he
He's
still
still
has
young,
that
though.
potential.
Well, yeah, because I was gonna say there's only like two that I could see in my head that I'm like those are Megatron level guys, and one is Nuke, like DeAndre Hopkins, but he doesn't
I
have
wouldn't.
same mass physical aspect
Right.
that Megatron had, and then you think of Mike Evans, but he doesn't have the same speed and agility that Megatron had.
No.
So yeah, DK
Megatron's a
Metcalf is
mix.
the only one that's kind of got both of them going on, just like
That's the
Megatron.
correct combination
He's
for
got everything. Yeah.
old Calvin Johnson there, man.
Yeah, another lowly lion with a short career.
9 seasons.
Yeah, man, but still the fastest player to reach 10,000 receiving yards, set NFL records on most catches in a season, yards in a season, and I think he could have added more records to his resume if he would have been
Oh
on
my
a successful
God, yeah,
team.
man.
He was on an 0-16 team, man.
Yeah,
No, that'd
he was literally getting 1,000 yards almost every season that he played. So he was gonna do way more.
If he'd
with
have
his
been
career.
if he'd have been set up like say like with the Colts with Peyton Manning or like with the Patriots with
Oh,
Tom Brady,
what?
like, I mean anybody
Game.
like that, they would have
Dirty, dude.
Absolutely absurd.
I mean,
even
can you imagine
would have just
Tom Brady having Randy Moss and Megatron?
oh my God. The
Unstoppable.
records.
I'm
that
sorry,
man
David
was
Tyree, but you lose.
Yeah,
every
You
time.
lose. Dude,
helmet catch doesn't matter. at that
Gabe
point.
just said he
Oh,
was getting
my
like
God.
1,000 yards every season. He was getting over 1,000 yards every season.
yeah, he was
He finished-
Detroit's
he finished
running
with-
back, man.
He
Oh,
finished
yeah,
with
no.
over 11,000 yards in 9 seasons.
Yeah, but there were two
Jesus.
seasons that he didn't break 1,000. That's why I said that.
Okay, but 1,900 yards in
Averaging.
2012.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
He was Detroit's running back. He literally was just like, instead of the ball being handed to him every play, they were throwing it every single play to him.
And he was
Just here,
catching it.
here.
Yeah, he caught it. Yeah, he had like 3 people covering him at a time, and he's coming down with the football. Anyway.
Dude, that's when the Dolphins had that monster of a man, Deion Jones, the defensive end that they had drafted from Oregon, that big guy,
Yeah,
and they put him at cornerback on Calvin Johnson
he's
because
the only person who
He-
actually.
he was the only.
Too.
Yeah, he was the only one that measured up to his size and speed, but yeah, he was a defensive end.
Yeah. no.
Give him the credit. He did do pretty freaking good job that game.
I mean, he did for a rookie
Or
covering Calvin Johnson, who was
I
a
mean,
defensive end.
Yeah,
So in other words, he really didn't do all that, but he did all he could.
He did
So
better
it's
than
better
a
than some
than a regular
cornerbacks.
cornerback.
Yeah.
You know,
that's impressive. You know,
so
one thing
props
that
to that guy.
yeah, the thing that excites me about this year's Hall of Fame inductees is like I thought it was the first one that we all actually got to watch all these players. You know,
Oh yeah, man.
A lot of them.
We got to watch him grow. We got to watch him like play like
entire
yeah.
careers.
When we were kids, we watched this. We watched from the time Calvin Johnson came into the league until the time he left it.
Yep.
That's
With the exception of Drew Pearson. Well, we didn't watch it.
Well,
Yeah, but we
but no,
actually.
I
did
mean,
watch
there was a
some
couple
Drew
others that we did, but we
I've
watched
seen
it.
a
we
lot of
watched
Drew
his-
Pearson's film.
Right, I was about to say.
Yeah, but I
Growing
mean,
up and watching all the old tapes of everybody. You know, Dad had all the freaking he had the VHSs of all the Super Bowl from years past.
Yeah, like
That was
every
fun. I
Super
remember
Bowl.
sitting and watching all
was-
those.
Yep.
That was fun.
it is good stuff to go back and watch the old school, man. But I feel like what Matt's saying. I think like this is a real true class. I mean, Peyton Manning is one of the best, the arguably the best ever. I mean, he holds the record for the most touchdown passes in a season, and we've got Megatron, who's just like both of these guys are like gods that have graced the football field before, and the other ones in that
Devote a
time
whole
era
episode
is
to most of these guys.
yeah, dude, John Lynch, man, is another one in that era, and John Lynch is somebody who
Yeah,
could be inducted into the Hall of Fame twice. Bruh,
Imagine that.
can you imagine that? Can you imagine after he's done doing what he's been doing to the Niners team, which has been, he's done nothing but good things for them. They've had rough years because of injury, but yeah, the Niners were in the dumps until John Lynch took over. So not only is he, what is it, a 9-time Pro Bowl safety, like something crazy, and then becomes a GM, and he's one of the best GMs the NFL has right now. He is such a fantastic GM.
He can
I-
give them some Super Bowls.
Yeah, he really can. I think he can. I think the Niners are going to go do good things right now,
I
man.
yeah,
definitely
they've
think
been
he can.
slowly but surely building up, man.
I
And
don't know. I
he's
want to
got
see two heads.
all to do with it.
Like, what happens? Like, that man could become the most legendary person in the league if he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame twice. Once as a player and then again as a GM.
Yeah,
That would
man,
be
I wish I'd have gotten to watch
outrageous.
him more. He was right before my time, really.
Yeah, I got to see the end of him. But, man, you talk about a dude like to hit? That man like to hit. I'm sure, like, John Lynch has got to be, like, the scariest GM ever, right?
Yeah, but you probably watched him more on the Broncos, huh?
Yeah, mostly on the Broncos is where I got to see John Lynch, dude. I feel like if he told me to do something, like if you're a player in negotiations, he's gonna like bring that up in your contract. Okay, that's cool. I'll give you that bonus if you'll go head to head with me. Let me crack. Let me crack you. Let's see if you can handle this old man. I mean, what? He's pushing 50. Like, I mean, I wouldn't want to hit John Lynch, man.
I'm sure he's still got some left in
I
the
think
tank.
I think he's like
crack at
about
it.
to turn 50.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
I'd
sure.
lose,
Yeah.
but I'd take a crack at it.
You take a crack at it, be like,
just to say, yeah, I went to hit the head with John Lynch. Yeah,
yeah, he could,
Exactly.
it
That's
could
where
be
I got
like,
the scar from.
like that fan that used to follow AJ Hawk around and ask him to just
Oh,
wreck
yeah.
him in public. Like, hey, hit me as hard as you can. Just wreck me. That's Matt. Matt would see John Lynch. He's like, I think I could do it. I would take a look from John Lynch. I'd be a
John.
legend if I
Hey,
did.
John, let me hit you. Let's go. I dare you, bro.
Dare.
You gotta do it now.
Mr. Lynch, if you wind up listening to this video, I will pay you like
$10.
$100. I'll give him $100 to hit Matt
He
as
needs
hard as
money.
he
way.
He needs
Yeah.
money.
No, what it is it's about pride, Matt. You think he's gonna let some little webcammer call him out? Come on, Matt. He's coming for pride, and $100. It's like
Yeah, I'm gonna send this to him. Yeah.
$100 isn't nothing to sneeze at.
No, I agree.
If
Also, I would love to see Matt just get absolutely destroyed by John Lynch.
I'm
That'd
pretty
be
sure we
like
could get
a-
that
a
video
peak in my
viral.
life.
Yes.
if John Lynch went
Yeah.
into the Hall of Fame though twice as a GM and a player, which one do y'all think would be more like impressive? Like his GM career or like his
That
player
one.
career?
I think him being a GM is actually more impressive.
I think it would be just because to me, for him to get in as a Hall of Famer GM, he'd probably need to come across a couple Super Bowls. And if he can bring
Yeah.
the 49ers to a
Yeah.
couple Super Bowls, they'll get on a roll, man, because they're so close. They can
So close all the time.
Say Garoppolo at the helm.
It's like I was trying to say earlier. The team that he's building right now in San Francisco, it's like all the pieces are almost in place, and if he could just get them to click, it's a dynasty waiting to happen, man. Like he's really doing a good job over there. And
What's with
it's been impressive.
poor Shanahan and he goes over there. John Lynch is trying to do everything he can for him, except Shanahan's quarterbacks have been Matt Ryan and then Jimmy Garoppolo. But you watch the offense and know the man's a genius, just doesn't have the right person in charge of it.
It's upsetting, kind of.
It's
like
upsetting.
it's sad to watch something that could be so good just kind of fail every once in a while. And it's like,
Something that could be so good, but it's not yet. But John Lynch could make it good, and then he's got 2 gold jackets, man. He can He could get one dirty if he feels like it.
He could double wear them.
No one's ever done that before, right?
I don't believe so. I don't think anyone's ever been inducted
inducted
I
twice.
was about to say, not that I know of. Or
Yeah,
heard
no,
of,
I
at
haven't
least.
heard of it.
Most great coaches were like just players, not even a big named player. John Madden was a player, but nobody would really even know that John Madden was a player.
Yeah,
But he's a fantastic coach and a fantastic commentator.
I don't know why that man didn't make himself like a 99 everything and put himself on every single Madden.
Put himself in the game.
Hidden free agent guy, you know?
yeah, that would be actually awesome.
They just auto-generate him into the undrafted portion of the draft.
Boom.
If they did that, I want them to perfect his body build. I want John Madden
Big
like
boy. Give me that big boy.
You
I
want
want-
John Madden
yeah.
right now, or you want John Madden in his prime?
no.
Right
I want
now.
it now. I want right now.
I want John Madden right now.
I want John Goodman Madden. That's exactly what I want.
Oh my
Oh Lord.
Oh no.
Yeah.
dude.
Okay, so yeah, moving on. Josh, you're talking about
So, yeah,
Peyton Manning, dude.
we talked about Peyton as some man. Peyton
Oh, we
is
mentioned
Peyton
his
is
name.
really
We
about
did
Peyton.
talk
We
about
did
You're right.
not talk about
Anything
Peyton.
talk about Peyton Manning the whole time, man. Yeah, you're right. We could talk
This
about
is
Peyton
your, like,
Manning for the whole
favorite
episode.
player
Peyton Manning is the
played,
greatest.
you know.
There he is. He's hanging on my wall back there. Peyton Manning. You can't see it. He's up. He's right there.
So,
He's right
so
there. There he is.
I know
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Full- It's right there.
Little
Oh,
sign
no,
helmet
I
with a
see it.
picture
I
of him.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
First-
yeah.
First man to ever win Super Bowls on two different teams.
Sorry, Brady. It's been
Sorry, Tom. Also, you still have not beaten his passing touchdowns in a season record or his passing touchdowns in a game record.
Man, that's so hard to believe.
Bro, when you throw
Brady
6
is-
touchdowns in a game and 55 in a season, Patrick Mahomes isn't even on that level.
Manning in his prime, man.
Not yet.
Manning
Not
in his
yet.
prime was
Manning was something else, dude. He was impressive. Like,
he could just carry an entire team and nobodies.
It
if he
it
needed
amazes
to.
me though
Like,
that he doesn't have more rings. Like to think that somebody that good. Always had a solid team, not like a great team, but always had a solid team. Just like
he went a good bit, though. What, 5,
Yeah.
6 times? He went to 3 on the Colts and then 2 on the Broncos.
yeah,
So he's lost 3 and won 2. But, I mean, I will agree with you. It's amazing that he doesn't have more rings. The man, he has thrown touchdown passes to more receivers in the NFL than anyone else in history. There's actually a list you can go look at, and it shows like I think there's over 100 guys on there, not even just wide receivers, but tight ends and fullbacks and running backs, even some offensive linemen that are on this list of like, this is who's caught the most passes from Peyton Manning all the way down the list till this is who's caught the least from Peyton Manning. And you have any idea how much of an honor it would be to be on that list?
yeah.
Holy hell, man.
yeah, I'd be honored to be on any NFL list. Okay.
But I mean,
Right.
like, to be someone that caught a touchdown pass from Peyton Manning, you have that football. You have it. You caught that touchdown pass from Peyton Manning, and Peyton was like, hey, you give me that football, and you just start crying because you know you have to give it to him because it's Peyton Manning, but you want it because you caught one from him. Right? Like,
It's mine.
man is-
It's
I
all
wouldn't give
mine.
it to him. I'd be, you got enough, bro.
Man, yeah, get one later. You're gonna throw another touchdown pass.
yeah,
in a minute.
if
I found this
Yeah,
one in
right.
the end zone. Finders keepers.
you didn't want it anymore, you threw it out of your hands.
and
I
happened to
want
be
it,
there.
so I got it. It's mine now.
Everything worked out the best for me, I think. Yeah. My ball.
You tell them that with a wink and a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a wink and a gun.
Such a stud. Like on and off the field, just listening to that man talk is mesmerizing. What a voice he's got. Little nice accent. You know, just hypnotizes you. You're like, wow.
I like how you did hypnotizes you. I was like, I thought you were talking about his forehead. You were just like,
lost in his
whoa.
forehead while
Pat
he's talking.
McAfee can say some stuff about that.
Yeah.
Hypnotizing. He's a magician. Dude is magical.
You hear that, Pat? We're promoting your podcast.
Yeah, that would help.
It is true.
Shout
Peyton
out.
Manning Peyton Manning has talked himself into having nothing but money for the rest of his life.
Oh yeah, no, he said
That dude's like, I get free stuff. We're
Oh,
cool.
From everywhere.
that he basically took over Papa John's now.
He took over Papa John's.
Because
I think that's why he doesn't
by
commentate.
Papa John,
Probably is, man. He has so many sponsorships.
Why would he
He need to
commentate?
commentate.
He doesn't need to have any kind of money coming in because he has so much money coming in. Why would he have to go to work somewhere?
No,
Like, he's just chilling now.
he's just gotta once every 3 months go make a new commercial.
Nationwide is on his side. He's good.
Let me tell you something. If I could get free insurance, I would.
Right?
I'll do as many commercials as
Dude.
you want me to do.
That's probably the best one right there. Like, I don't need the pizza. I don't need the beer. Give me the free insurance and we're all right. I mean, I like the pizza. I like the beer. But if I have to pick one of the three, it's insurance.
Yeah.
All the way around.
Man, I don't know. Free pizza and beer, I might save more.
So you spend more on pizza and beer than you do on insurance?
Nah.
I mean,
That's actually very fair.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
probably
honestly.
so. Honestly, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I have to do some math.
I only have one vehicle. I don't pay that much.
No, man. It amazes me to think. Does Eli have more Super Bowls than Peyton?
No, they're tied.
Yeah,
Same.
they both
Same.
got two.
Yeah. 2-2s.
He did until Peyton won with the Broncos. That's
Yep.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Eli
The Brady killer.
Eli's the goat killer. Eli's the wolf. That's what we're gonna call Eli from now on.
Kryptonite, baby.
He's hunting the
Yeah.
goat.
Brady's kryptonite.
Eli's hunting the goat. Eli should have come out of retirement just to play the Buccaneers last season.
I think Eli.
Or
set
can you
himself
imagine the
up,
Chiefs
like-
pinching Patrick Mahomes for Eli Manning?
Yeah.
No, I said the Giants just bring him off the bench, let him beat Brady during the regular season, then he can retire again.
every
Yeah.
year?
Put Patrick Mahomes.
Once a year.
Steven,
Till
they just signed
Brady
Eli
retires.
Yeah, if they can
They-
ever get back to Super Bowl against Brady.
Yeah.
Right, but the Bucks played him in the regular season.
That doesn't do him any good.
Yeah, but it would be funny
They're
just
just
to
gonna
watch
lose the rest of
Eli
the games.
beat him. He doesn't beat Eli. Eli just
Daniel
beats
Jones
him
is
all the
just gonna
time.
fall down.
Yeah, but that's really funny to watch.
It is funny to watch. Dude, I
That's
love
so
that.
heartbreaking, man. It was not that funny to watch.
Oh,
I
it
felt
is
so
so
bad for the
funny.
dude.
What he still had
I
80
feel
yard
bad for him,
run.
dude.
Like
He had
he's
an
happy.
80-yard run and he makes millions of dollars a year though, so it's funny to watch.
Yeah, it's very funny to watch. To watch somebody who does that as a profession screw up. Yeah, it's on a big stage. Yeah, it's funny to watch. You don't see that too often.
You would be crushed.
Speaking of goat killers and Brady, y'all, what about Charles Woodson?
Yeah.
Hey.
Brady killed
Hey.
that goat, right?
Well, no, the Tuck rule killed that goat.
Yeah. But it
Dude.
was Brady. It's the reason Brady blew up.
Mm,
It's the reason Charles didn't have just that one extra Super Bowl.
I love Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson is the first and only person to ever win the Heisman in college,
As a
As a
defender.
defender.
which is
Charles
that's what I
Woodson,
meant.
first and only person ever to win the
I
Heisman.
didn't say as a defender.
Sorry, Derrick
before.
Henry and
I
all
thought
you
I
Every
said
other
that
Heisman
before.
winner is a bitch.
That is upsetting.
He's the first and
Um,
only defender to ever win the Heisman.
Yes.
Charles
That is-
Woodson
that's
is
correct.
because of that reason, Charles Woodson is arguably to say the best defensive player we've ever seen.
I mean, he was just a lockdown mixed with a run stuffer. He
Well,
could
the
do it all.
The
He's
amount of
got
different
deep.
positions he played,
Yeah.
like he played every position in the defensive backfield. He returned punts and kicks too. The man is ridiculous. Didn't he? They put him at receiver a couple times as well. I think early in his career.
he did. Yeah, and
I don't know.
I mean, he played did he play 20 seasons? I know he was close.
18 seasons.
18 seasons. Yeah.
Dude, that's a lot.
That's a
Especially
lot.
for someone that's doing that much on the field.
Yeah.
You know.
He was very Deion Sanders type of player back there, man. He was so electric to win a Heisman as a defensive player.
I mean, his stats are all over the place.
Oh yeah, because he's the golden boy. He's the best there ever was.
He's a
First
diva
player
goat.
in NFL history with 50 career interceptions and 20 sacks and 33 forced fumbles and recovered 18 of them.
Recovered 18 of 33 forced fumbles.
33 forced fumbles, recovered 18 of them.
He recovered half.
Wait, did he recover
Over
half
half.
of his own fumbles, or did he recover 18
That's
fumbles?
a fantastic
valid
question.
That I don't
question,
know.
Gabe.
It says forced 33 fumbles and recovered 18.
I could
Suck
guarantee.
at this
I don't.
internet thing. Okay, we need more specifics.
I don't think
I don't have time
that.
for this, man. Like, I can't talk and research at the same time.
Stat guy.
Ben looks like Jason Garrett's towel boy.
Oh God.
Yeah, well, dude, the towel
That's a
boys make
disturbing
like
image of my
fucking
brother.
$70,000 a year.
I was about to say,
So-
man, if I was a towel boy in the NFL, I would not be doing a podcast
Those-
with you three.
Man.
He's like, well, whatever Jason Garrett needs a towel for, I'll give him one. It's good.
Not whatever.
For $70,000 a year to give Jason Garrett towels, you'll give him a towel for whatever he needs one for.
The
I guess
emotionless
that's
man.
true.
That's true. He'll probably throw you a little extra gold every now and then. Like a tip.
What did you just say? Extra. A little extra
Dude,
gold.
the man is the offensive coordinator for the Giants, and his quarterback fell down.
Like a tip. Extra gold like a tip.
No, everyone knows his quarterback fell down. We've talked about that a couple different times.
Okay.
They've
Oh.
figure out where you got gold from.
I got lost right there.
Bro.
Money, I understand
Where
what he's
did I
talking
get
about.
gold?
I
We
get
need to get
that,
off
I
that
get that.
subject so we can cut this.
No, this is staying in.
We're not cutting this. No. People are gonna hear the gold.
I'm too
Although Matt's decided
intoxicated
to
for
cut
it. Yeah, I cut.
Don't
So
forget
I want to go
about
back
the
to
gold.
Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I don't see if he recovered 18 of his own fumbles, but he recovered 18. He forced 33. He had 50. He had 63 interceptions.
Okay, that's wild.
And
But
20 sacks. 60.
Oh, I was like, dude, he had 60 sacks as a cornerback. That's out of this world.
I'm looking
I was
at too
like,
many
no
numbers.
way.
He had
65
13
interceptions,
touchdowns.
20 sacks, 33 fumbles, and 18 recovers.
I highly doubt that man recovered
Yeah.
18 of his own 33 fumbles.
I don't know.
Be
Like,
impressive.
you watch him hit, man. He didn't. It's not like he just wrapped up and went down. He laid. He laid the heat on some people.
Well, I
If
mean,
he out, he's gonna
bang.
pick it up and run.
the only
had 13
person that's still playing right now to even come close to comparing to Charles Woodson is Tyrann Mathieu. And
Who's also the only other defensive player to come close to winning the Heisman.
Chase Young almost won that Heisman, and Brian Boz almost won that Heisman.
Tyrann
Yes.
Matthew should have won that.
Tyrann
Heisman.
Mathieu.
Tyrann
Tyrann Mathieu
Mathieu
deserved
should
the
have
Heisman.
won the
Yes,
Heisman.
he should have won the Heisman. That is true. He did deserve it. But I mean, Charles Woodson is still the GOAT, man. He is the defensive GOAT. I don't think that there is a better defensive player out there than him. As wide of a range as that is to say, I really think that he proved to us that I'm the defensive GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree there.
I do too.
Well, the only argument would be Ray Lewis,
Mm.
and that's because Ray Lewis.
was
Ray Lewis.
terrifying to
Ray
everybody
Lewis
in
is
the
definitely
league.
one of my favorite ones to watch.
Right, but think about the progression that Charles Woodson kept throughout his career, the numbers that he kept putting up throughout his career, even though you're someone like a cornerback who is limited to half the field. Darrelle Revis started his career fantastic. He's probably the best cornerback ever to do it, besides Charles Woodson, but Revis' career started so good that just like Richard Sherman, Jalen Ramsey right now, everybody quits throwing over there. So you kind of quit hearing about that guy because they're scared of him. You never quit hearing about Charles Woodson.
It's because they put him everywhere. It's because
they put him everywhere. Because he played in the slot. He played strong safety. He played free safety. They put him in the box if they felt like it. He was everywhere, man, even though he was technically a cornerback. And his progression never slowed down and never stopped, even when he was getting older in years. I was watching 35-year-old Charles Woodson run touchdowns back, and I'm like, that is insane that this dude is 10, 12 years older than some of these guys, and he's still just tearing them up in an athletic position. Not even you're not a quarterback where it's impressive as hell that you can do that, but teams are trying to protect you. Yeah. You're a defensive back. You're one of the smallest guys out there, putting your nose in with some of the biggest guys out there. You're 10 years older than them, and you're still bringing it on them. The man is a legend.
You couldn't game plan for him.
He never stopped.
No.
Legend dairy. Huge Charles Woodson fan, man. I'm big time on that one right there.
He inflicted so much pain and brought so much more to that defense, dude. Brought so much energy to the game.
Yeah. Hello.
We are back.
Oh, man. Dude. We are back. What a scream.
Over the week number 3.
Let's get into Bill Nunn here, man. This is a Hall of Famer that a lot of people probably don't really know about.
I didn't know much about him.
We're gonna be honest. I don't know much.
Decided to this subject.
Taking into this, it's actually pretty cool.
Actually, a very big deal, man. Somebody that spent, what was Gabe saying, 47 years, right?
47 years.
47 years, man, on one organization as a scout behind the scenes running the show. The amount of Hall of Famers that man must have brought into the Steelers is wild, dude.
I'd also like somebody with that dedication. That's somebody who just loves the game of football, stays in it for that long in his life.
Such a great organization, too, to be around for that long. Like, the things he got to experience, the players he got to meet, the coaches he got to meet and work with, I bet that was
roles he got to be a part of.
That dude had a life.
I mean, he was definitely there whenever they were inventing the 3-4 defense that the Steelers run. This iconic defense of putting these outside linebackers that are like defensive end pass rushers, James Harrison type of men out there. Then, you have to be someone in charge of finding talent to handle those positions. That's just like a new wild idea.
It says a lot, too, for any organization to keep you around that long.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's true. I mean, to keep you around that long, what, Gabe, he said he passed in 2014?
Yeah.
So, he passed away. You mean that man would have stayed on that team? They would have had that man on that team longer than that.
He literally stayed to his deathbed.
He gave his life to that team. The stories that dude could probably tell if you were to sit down and talk to him, man, about, I don't know, you got Terry Bradshaw and Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. He was there for that time era and part of that organization for that time era.
I mean, honestly, think about it. He got picked up in 68 for the Steelers, and the 70s was their dynasty.
The 70s was their dynasty. That's
he came in and just started telling them who to pick up. And they were like, oh, yeah.
Dude,
he was the director of player personnel and a senior scout. He's the one that brought in those players to build that dynasty.
Yep.
Swan,
like Jack Lambert, like you said, John Stallworth.
Yeah, John Stallworth and Lynn Swann, man. That's honestly, it's nuts. Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris. The amount of Steelers that dude is probably what Rod Woodson would be another one. Just
Yeah, Mel
seeing-
Blunt.
yeah,
Blunt.
Mel Blunt, man, all the way through like that dynasty
Bettis.
there from the 70s. Yeah, as I said, then you get to the 90s when the Steelers are starting to come back to the thing. Like, I want to Jerome Bettis. I'd want to the man I would want to know, like, where did you find him is James Harrison. Oh, geez, that's just terrifying. I honestly hate seeing his workout videos on
Yeah.
social media.
I bet he's the most loyal person in the world.
But this man had to do with all of that. This
Yeah.
man brought all of those in. Those are tons and tons and tons of Hall of Famers that we just talked about. And now he's in the Hall of Fame. That's the difference of the glory right there. Like players honestly get upset if they don't become first ballot Hall of Famers and they feel like they were. But like those guys are nothing without someone behind the scenes finding them and taking the role to step back.
Recognizing the talent.
Step back, yeah. He stepped back and they all become Hall of Famers before him, even though he's somebody that recognizes their talent. And he has to wait. Not only like wait till 7 years since he's not with the organization anymore, but spend 50 years on the organization before he even gets to be recognized for that.
Yeah, I mean
That's insane, man.
You're not gonna see another scout with that talent finding ability again. Like, not like that.
No, not like that, man. To bring players like that into the Steelers, you got one of the Hall of Famers that are in the class right now is he brought in, and Finneca is somebody that
Alan Finneca.
talks
Finneca.
about. They interviewed him, and all I can think is what we're saying right now, like that Bettis, like Finneca's like, I want to be in the Hall of Fame with Bettis. That's my boy, and they're like, who else? And he's like, Troy Polamalu. That's also my boy, and he's in the Hall of Fame with somebody that brought those players into it. He got to make those kind of relationships with those players and all be Hall of Famers, win Super Bowls together, and all get to be in the Hall of Fame. Can you imagine what that's like, man, to be Finneca right now entering the Hall of Fame and like two of your buddies are in the Hall of Fame already and you're like, man, this is
About time. Hey.
surreal,
Let me join 'em.
man. Surreal to join
That's
your
awesome.
friends in the Hall of Fame, dude.
And I'm gonna be curious to like hear what Finneca has to say, like during his induction speech about Pillman.
Yeah.
Because he's
Like, there's
passed
not much
away.
said about
Yeah,
him,
because
but
he's passed away.
and I feel like Finneca's almost gonna have to speak for him, or like feel the need to speak for him.
That's an interesting take, man. I really think that he should. Now that you're saying that, that really would be cool to hear what he has to say about someone like that. Because I feel you're right.
He's talking about how awesome it is for Finneca to be able to be inducted into the Hall of Fame with all his boys that they won Super Bowls together. But he's being inducted in the same class as the guy that brought them all to those, brought them all together. So I feel like, he's passed away, and I want to hear Finneca's speech. I want to hear if he actually brings him into it,
So especially being like me, somebody who doesn't know much about that guy too. But like now knowing who he is and knowing of what he was around for and what he brought in, I would love to hear Finneca give a good story or two about him. Just so I can know a little bit more and get a more personal feeling.
Yeah.
It makes me curious, like, to hear more about other people, like other behind the scenes, workers around the NFL.
It's a big deal, man. The NFL makes a big deal about that every single time. I that's one thing that I do give them credit for is every time, like, they have these workers that stay in these organizations, not just like team organizations, but like the industry organization as well, like of the NFL, all the filming, everything that we get to see and experience at these stadiums, and their sound guys and camera guys and directors and editors, all of these people, they recognize them fairly often, in my opinion, whenever I'm watching games.
But it all just kind of goes over your head.
Yeah,
Right,
definitely it goes over your head.
I'm sure it's nice for those people at least to know that you're being recognized for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, when you think about
That
the
you get
like, okay,
recognized for it.
Houston's I forget his name was.
Bill O'Brien.
No, not Bill.
Oh, okay, my bad.
The other guy they fired, he was their equipment manager, and that was a big deal because they fired their equipment manager, and every single player, like, it would cause more drama with Deshaun Watson because the players loved that equipment manager so much. When they fired him, they're like, well, we don't want to play for you anymore. Like, why are you going to fire our equipment manager like that? So
Yeah.
when you think about these guys that are behind the scenes that are building relationships with the players that you don't know anything about, like, as a professional athlete, as a high school athlete, like, I didn't care. I put my own helmet on. But as a professional athlete, you have this guy that knows exactly how you like your chin strap adjusted and your pad height and how snug you want your pads and like every little thing set up for you and ready to go come game time. So all you have to do is focus on the game.
You're old. You played football when it was jank.
Yeah, well,
I appreciate the people that knew how I like my pads and how I like my water.
yeah, that was me when you were playing.
Give me my pickle juice.
Me and the rest of the coaches were handling that.
No, I don't know. Miss Jackie had a full blown list to take care of me, but I see where you're coming from. If the team I played for would have got rid of my Miss Jackie, I'd have been like, I don't want to play for you no more. Miss Jackie hooks me up. Get out of here. Like, all right, she makes sure I'm ready for the game.
That's what I'm saying. As important as these people are to the players, I want to hear what Finica has to say.
That's a good point, man. I think that would actually be really, really awesome. I'm very curious to watch these Hall of Fame inductions and their speeches, man. It's a good class. It's a good class, man.
It's a really good class. Like very exciting class for me.
It's a very exciting class. We're talking like exactly what you said, Matt. These are real superstars. These are our real life superstars that we grew up watching, and we're seeing our superstars go into the Hall of Fame, man. Like, it's such a good class. I get to see Peyton Manning go to the Hall of Fame. Like, Peyton Manning, I was like 4 when he went to the NFL, and 10 by the time I started playing Madden, and was like, man, the Colts are good because the number 18 on there is good. And so I just got into it with Peyton Manning, and now, like, here he is, like, going into the Hall of Fame. I'll never get to watch him play football again.
Did you hear that, Josh? We said that at the same time.
What, going into the Hall of Fame?
Yep, pretty wild.
That's very wild, man.
Like we're brothers or something.
Something like that. If we share a connection, dude. Yeah, nobody would ever be able to tell that we're brothers by looking at us.
Not as much as me and Billie Eilish, but yes.
If you're listening to this, instead of watching it, me and Gabe look nothing alike. He's quite hideous, and I'm quite beautiful. But one day
we say that as brothers because we all think we look different, but everybody I meet is like, your parents are copy machines. And I just
there's 8 of us, bro.
Yeah, and in the 7th copy.
It's true. We do have.
That's right. Also. Our father goes right into the Hall of Fame alongside Phillip Rivers.
With that pop style.
They're in the same class.
Oh my God.
All right.
So we're still talking about Finica, right?
Well, yeah, let's hop on Finica because this guy, I love big men getting some recognition. It's the best, you know.
I mean, without them, how do the quarterbacks actually get into the Hall of Fame? Right?
Nobody gets into the Hall of Fame without them, and besides defensive linemen, those are the only people that go to Hall of Fame without offensive linemen.
I mean, this guy played 13 seasons, most of them with the Steelers.
Right, 10 of them with the Steelers, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
When you say the bus, you mean Jerome Bettis and not Big Ben, right?
Yeah, yes. And he missed 1 game his entire career over 13 seasons.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So
that is impressive.
What is he? A 6-time Pro Bowler, huh? I think he's 6-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah. Yes.
So.
No, 9.
9-time. Dang. 9-time Pro Bowl.
9 out of 13 seasons.
Well, then this is where I get upset again. We're gonna
all pro 6 times.
The man is a 9-time Pro Bowler, misses one game in 13 years, plays 10 seasons on the same team, wins the Super Bowl, and he's a big man, and they don't get any recognition because that dude is first ballot.
Well, not only 9-time Pro Bowler, but 9-time consecutive Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Means
9
once he
seasons in a
started,
row.
he didn't stop.
So, oh, man. Okay, 7 years isn't that bad, but the fact that he's not the first ballot with stats like that is only because he's an offensive
I
lineman,
don't know, man. He's one of the best
Which
run
hurts.
blocking guards.
which
in
hurts. It
the
really
NFL.
does hurt.
They don't get enough. It's like the last episode we talked about with the Pounceys. You know, you may not see
Oh.
both of them in there, and they deserve it.
You may
Well,
not see
maybe
either
not
one
mine.
in there.
You know.
That's true.
Ah, dude, I mean,
I think Marquise is gonna get it.
Marquise has got to go. He's going to join Finneca and as a
Steelers
Steelers
O-line.
great
Yeah.
Steelers great O lineman. He's got to.
Marquise never won a Super Bowl with the Steelers.
But
I mean,
you
he
know
was-
who he
he
was
was-
brought in by?
Marquise got there. as-
Yeah, he was brought in by Bill Nunn, man.
Yes, sir.
And you said Marquise got in there the year after they won the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And Finneca's last season was the year they won the Super Bowl.
Right. That's
So
what
they
I'm saying.
never even got to be teammates. That sucks.
Mm.
Well, Vidica's last season
They know
He's
each
so
other.
close.
though.
was
Okay.
with the Jets, though. He was with the Jets from 2008 to 2009. So Finneca's last season with Pittsburgh was 2007.
2007, exactly. That was when they won the Super Bowl.
No, they won in 2009. Didn't I say that in the last episode?
Yes.
When did he win?
They won
Yep.
in 2009.
Oh, jeez, yeah, I'm all
Vidica
over.
won the Super Bowl with Jerome Bettis, bro.
He won the Super Bowl with your Jerome Bettis. You're right. 2007
Yes,
was
sir.
2007 was Peyton Manning, and then 8 was Eli Manning. We have back-to-back Mannings, man. And then we had those Steelers. Yeah,
Are there any brothers in the Hall of Fame already?
you strided me, man. Are there any brothers in the Hall of Fame? There's
Yeah.
gotta be. Wait,
Manning brothers will be.
the Manning brothers
Right,
will
well,
be.
that's
Right.
what I'm thinking about. But is there any already?
What about
the
what
Barbers?
about? Okay, I was about to say, what about the Barbers? What about Tiki and Rondé Barber?
Did they go yet?
They
Or-
both
Have-
Are they gonna?
Or has either of them gotten in yet?
That's what I'm saying. Are they gonna?
I'm pretty
Stat
sure
boy.
one of them got to be in there.
Rondé Barber definitely belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's what
Right.
I'm pretty sure Rondé Barber's in the Hall of Fame.
That is a clear-cut choice.
Do some Googling, Rico Suave.
That is a clear-cut choice. I don't know if Tiki's gonna get that Hall of Famer, but there has to be brothers in the Hall of Fame, right? You're like we're talking about the Pouncey,
You
who
got a
are
couple
both
Matthews in
maybes.
there, huh? I mean, the Matthews have been playing since like their grandfather,
Oh,
and all their cousins
wow.
play, and like there's so
Fine,
much to
Gabe.
them.
All right, so listen to this. Rondé Barber was actually one of the finalists.
Nominations, yeah, he was a finalist. Yes.
Kentucky, and didn't get in.
How do they not put that man on the first ballot?
I don't know. There's no way Tiki's in if Rondé.
Tiki's not in. Well, I mean, Tiki retired earlier than him, but Rondé had such a more decorated
Rondé,
career.
yeah, Rondé was better.
Yeah.
He deserves it more.
Well, yeah, of course.
What about
Ben's looking to see if we got brothers in there. He
no,
did.
He's just looking to see their Tiki or something.
No, I was looking to see if there were any brothers.
Okay. Never
Anything?
mind.
yeah,
I was wrong. What about Tom Flores though? That's the last one we got that's going. He's been nominated.
Tom Flores
there.
is a great coach, and Tom Flores knew how to win mostly in the playoffs. If Tom Flores got his team to the playoffs, Tom Flores was doing well in the playoffs.
dude. I mean, he did have a fantastic team around him to coach, but I think it's the amount of time that he spent in the Raiders organization before he was the head coach that really just prepared him to do what he did
Yeah.
once he was. He's a part of 3 Super Bowls, man.
Well, I'm about to say one before he was a head coach and 2 after.
Yeah.
Did
Like-
they win all 3 of them? Or
Yes.
yeah,
He won 3 Super Bowls with the Raiders, which is
that's insane.
yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's what Gruden's trying to do. That's what everybody's trying to do. You wanna strive to be that. I mean, like Bill Belichick, it's just Flores putting multiple Super Bowls under his belt. If you're a coach and you can win not 1 but 2, and then technically have 3 under your belt because you're a positional coach, you're a king, man. Like
Somebody that definitely needs to be thrown into the Hall of Fame as one of the greatest coaches out there. Because I mean,
the Raiders were scary, man.
He really on that Super Bowl team. He only had like 2 Hall of Famers total. There wasn't too much going on. I know he had Ted Hendricks on the defensive side of the ball, who I mean,
well, the running back was Marcus Allen, yes.
No. That was Kenny King that year in '90.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez, because I remember Marcus Allen was terrifying. I mean, by the time he got to the Raiders, he was getting past, but still, like.
Now, it didn't really matter who the running back was because they had Gene Upshaw blocking for them. So, you're going to run well. I know that.
Just follow his butt. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Go straight off of that, man.
Dude, I don't know. I just don't like the Raiders in that time frame were scary, and the Raiders were a big deal. Actually, that's one thing that I do remember from being a kid is getting into all of this. Getting into football, and the Raiders being a big deal coming out of the '90s.
Oh, they were
the Raiders
one of the first
were mean.
teams I liked.
The Raiders were mean. Yeah, it was scary. There was something scary about the Raiders. Like you just knew, like. Those dudes are kind of badass.
You knew they were going to hit you hard, and you knew their fans might jump you after.
Yeah, terrifying environment to play in. The Raiders environment was so scared of playing. One of the most intense teams in the league at that time, man. The 90s were wild in general, though, but most of the teams out there were pretty scary.
I feel like they're kind of bringing that back a little bit more of that smash mouth football that they used to have going on.
That's Gruden in there. I mean,
yeah, exactly. You got that man Gruden taking over, an old school type man.
It is an old school type man.
Trying to bring it back.
Exactly. He's coming back. He knows what he won with, and he sees what the NFL has become, and he knows that it's time for that smash mouth run game again, man.
Yeah. It is definitely making a turn.
Linebackers.
He's got the man.
Like he sees it, and he's coming in with it, and that's why the Raiders are they're going to be exciting again now.
And you go back to that Tom Flores era of Raiders football.
The old school smash mouth.
That happened.
I don't think
I don't think Gruden cares, and I don't think Adele has much of a choice. You'd have to really, really titify the run game. And it's very hard to titify that run game because if you do, you're basically not even letting them play anymore.
Yeah.
This sounds kind of weird to say, but there's definitely pretty receivers out there, but I can't really think of any pretty running backs. There's only one running back in history that comes to my brain that I think of as pretty to watch him run, and it was Walter Payton. But I mean, for the most part, a running back has to be able to run between the lines, and he's got to be able to take a lick, even if he's a smaller dude. Christian McCaffrey is elusive and fast, and just like Alvin Kamara, and they're receiving backs technically, but neither one of them really are pretty to watch. They're both fun to watch, but they're both tough as nails.
Yeah. They pinball through the defensive line. I mean,
they're tough as nails.
So they just stay up, like I can't remember his name.
Sick.
There you go, Matt.
Barry Sanders.
He stayed on his feet, man.
Yeah, Barry Sanders
footwork was just incredible.
I don't think Adele can do much about making the run game soft because the run game is between the tackles, and as we've talked about already, the big boys are the nastiest and most important men in the NFL.
Literally hitting hitting somebody every single play is
It's two mass forces of man, and you're gonna ram them into each other every single play.
yeah.
Throw the other one to the ground.
See how that
Yeah,
goes.
what do you change about that? You can't really change anything about that,
Only your hands can touch. You know,
dude.
patty cake.
Play patty cake, Matt. That's
As soon
exactly
as the
what I
ball
thought you were
hikes,
about
you
to
got to
say.
do rock paper scissors. Whoever wins, you get the block
The other
or
one
the
sits
pass rush
down,
move.
right.
You
The
know?
other one sits down.
Sorry,
If
dude,
you
I did
win,
rock that time. Thought he was coming with a power move. He came with a finesse move, and I fucked up.
All right. So that's
I think
about all we got time for today, man. That's our Hall of Fame class. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll be back
Sure.
next week. This is What Do We Know?
Remember, like, subscribe, give our Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, follow them all. One more time from the four of us. at
We
the same
appreciate
time.
y'all listening, man.
And
All
this
right.
is
What Do We
What do we know? Let's go.
Bye.
Have a good.